Hey there, it's Tash, and today I wanted to talk about the lovely, beautiful play Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead. You can't really see it, but I promise this is it. Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead by Tom Stoppard, because I really love Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead. I tried to film a review for this 8 million bajillion years ago, got too into it, too intense about it, and it's been about a year since I tried to film that, and it's been about a year since I read this, so I'm hoping this removed perspective I have from the novel will be helpful. Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead by Tom Stoppard is a play that kind of runs in parallel to the plot of Hamlet. It fills in a lot of scenes that take place off stage, and it's from the perspective of Rosencrantz and Guildernstern. If you don't know who they are, as in the Hamlet play and in this, they are Hamlet's friends from school, and they're noblemen, and they get called to the palace by the king and queen, and the king and queen ask Rosencrantz and Guildernstern to figure out why Hamlet is really acting strangely, and it goes from there. So there are lots of different ways to interpret this play. This is just the way I interpret it, but as an absurdist play, naturally not everything makes sense, and there are a lot of strange happenings happening, if you will, and there's a lot of unknowns and strange things happening that don't add up, especially from the perspective of Rosencrantz and Guildernstern. And I think this is like the whole crux. Everything, all my thoughts around this novel are really just one single thought. But from the perspective of Rosencrantz and Guildernstern, there are a lot of things that don't make sense, because this book is written in parallel to the Shakespeare play. And the events and the happenings do not change. The events remain the same. And this script, these rules for the universe that lie, I'm going to put this down, that lie in the Hamlet script, they are true for this play. They are true for Rosencrantz and Guildernstern. The events that happen in Hamlet must and do in fact happen. And so this play, this script that the audience has and the audience knows, but Rosencrantz and Guildernstern do not, are really a parallel to the rules of our universe, and they are whatever you believe in, I suppose. It's God's plan, or it is fate, or it is luck, or it's simply the rules of nature. For me, it's all just a big metaphor for determinism, but that could be just because I'm really into determinism. And I think that we as audience members and as readers are Rosencrantz and Guildernstern, and we are trapped in a world with rules and guiding forces that we are not a part of, that are predetermined, that we cannot influence, that we cannot understand. And we're pushed around by these rules that we are not a part of. We can't understand the world, and I feel like this is really shown by the questioning they do of Hamlet, and they gain nothing from him. His motives are hidden, his actions are hidden from them, until it is too late and the consequences are there. And we can't really interfere with these forces or stop these forces, and I think this is shown by the way that Rosencrantz and Guildernstern are brought to Denmark, and this is done partly because it is what happened in the Shakespeare play, so it must happen. But even within the world of Rosencrantz and Guildernstern, they must come to Denmark because they have been told to by the king and queen, and they can't really ignore the king and queen. And I really adore the game that Rosencrantz and Guildernstern play, wherein you have to say a question, and you have to answer that question with a question, and a question, and a question, and a question, and whoever answers with a statement loses. And I think this is them really internalizing the world that they are part of, in which they can't understand it and they can't draw anything from it, and this is them mimicking the world that is impenetrable to them. And I think the fact that it's a game is so interesting because it shows the world that Rosencrantz and Guildernstern inhabit, and it is a world of bias, and it is a world where social interaction is so loaded as to have a loser and a winner. And through the way that we are an extension of Rosencrantz and Guildernstern, this is the world that we too inhabit. Yeah, I just really love Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead. I'd really recommend it. I'd really recommend reading it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And I love the tragedy and the way I read it, the inevitability of it. We live our lives without ever knowing what we are doing, why we are doing it, and we can't escape it. There's a scene in Rosencrantz and Guildernstern Are Dead in which Rosencrantz and Guildernstern attempt to leave a room, but they are blocked by these players and these actors who are dressed up as the king and queen, who represent the immovable forces that won't let you escape and won't let you make any free choice. 10 out of 10 would recommend it as just fabulous. So that's it from me. Goodbye.